it really does get in the way of like having that connection of like,
Yeah.
we're not judging each other for our shortcomings. Like my wife earlier today, what did she say? Oh, we have this coffee table in our living room. It's basically the kids' dining room table. Like it's like this little round table. And whenever my wife has commandeered our kitchen, like it's her office. Like the
Mm.
whole kitchen table is her sewing machine and her suits and her beads and like it's her office now. So like whenever I'm eating, like I'll grab this this table and like scooch it over to the couch so I can like eat some food while I'm sitting on the couch. And whenever I like pull it over, it kind of like scrapes against the rug and you can hear like all the screws like popping loose. And she goes, "That thing's gonna break anytime soon." And like for me, I have a history of breaking all of our furniture. Like I break our coffee tables. Every time I sit down on our couches, I sit really hard. I don't know why. I always like break the legs of our couches. I destroy our furniture. I'm really rough on it for some reason. And she it destroys all of our cooking pans. Like all of our pan, she melts the spoons somehow. She destroys the cast iron skillets. She destroys the nice skillets. She destroys like all of the cooking things. And like in that moment when she said that, I just chimed in. I was like, "Hey, listen, we got a system in this house. I destroy the furniture and you destroy the cooking utensils, and it's working. I accept you for your shit and you accept me for my shit. That's how this is going, okay?" And she just laughs because she knows it's true. It's like she does that. And like I've given up on caring about it. I'm full acceptance in that. Like we just have to buy a lot of new pans and utensils all the time. Can't tell you how many tongs and spoons and pans we've been through. And I break the couches and the coffee tables, and it's okay. This is just how it
Yeah.
is, right? We're not going to judge each other for it anymore. Like, yeah, we'll try to be better about it, but it's just kind of a thing. It's kind
Well,
of my
yeah,
thing.
it's weird because like starting our relationship, there was always things that you're going to judge your partner a little bit on, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I do that. And it's like this past year has shown me that there's a relationship possible, a lot like the relationships we have in here with the no blame, no shame, no judgment. And it's weird to think that I can have that with a female and not just with a brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely possible. I think it's harder
Yeah.
because there's things that get in the way. Um, but it's definitely possible.
Hmm.
It's definitely possible. And I would even say like it should definitely be our goal when it comes
100%.
to them. So, I see you're going through it, man. Hopefully you make it through these tough times. Hopefully you get some
It,
more sleep.
it's been a struggle not to just be like, fuck this, I'm out. But
Yeah,
we need
don't
the
do
money.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to keep your job. So just keep pushing through. Um, just, take it for what it is. And while you're working, spend as much time as you can applying for jobs.
yeah,
That's it.
I am.
And you'll land something. It won't take long.
Yeah.
It'll take longer than you want it to, but it won't take long.
Well, I'm definitely not in the fear of that I was before I started applying. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like no, this is not sustainable. It's not good for me or my family. I'm fucking doing this.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
to be dead honest, I don't care who in my company that it disappoints.
no way. It's a good place to get to. Dr. Jeff, how was your week? You had an interesting experiment you ran.
A couple of wild experiments I've run this week. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
what are you
been
doing, man? Mad scientist of men's mental health right now.
no, just trying to look and kind of tackle things in a different way. Um, so yeah, no, just you know what? On Discord, whatever it was, maybe Saturday morning, there was some like suicidal kid in there that Alex and I were tackling, and he was in India, and we lined up all these suicide hotline resources for him in India, in his hometown. And he was like, I don't want to call, I'm not going to do that. And we're like, okay. And I was like so pissed off. And I was like, and because I try to say, on Discord, I want to help one person a day and then cut myself off because it's a bottomless pit. But um, I was like, you know what? You know, culturally, I'm spending time on some kid I don't know. I was like, I wonder how my people are. So I just started dialing and it just kind of got out of control. But um, I was just thinking about all these people that had kind of moved the needle for me in my life before, that, I kind of thought of. And I just wanted to reach out to everybody. And I got about halfway through my list. Um, yeah, it was really neat. Kind of surprising. So I got a lot of
I
responses
didn't
from,
mean
what's
I
that?
didn't mean to ignore you. I didn't mean to ignore your text. I was going to get back to you. I just wanted to. I got it
No,
when I
no,
was
no,
busy, and I have a bad habit of reading text when I can't respond, and then I forget to respond when I have time to respond. So I'm
no, it
sorry.
was okay. No, it was okay. And, I'd say about a third of people, I thought a lot more people would not respond. I was really shocked. Um, I mean, like about a third of people didn't respond, about a third kind of just gave, we just swapped a couple messages back and forth. And a lot of those folks were just kind of superficial. Hey, doing great. And I was like, okay. But it was kind of the people that I thought were the most bulletproof and strong and successful and just I started sending messages to people that like, hey, I know a lot of people depend and lean on you. I just want to make sure behind the scenes you're okay because I just don't know who you can lean on, just want to make sure you're okay. And it really pulled out some really sudden conversations. Um, and some famous people that I was kind of I barely knew. I mean, I superficially knew them, and then all of a sudden there's like confession and heartache, and I was like super unbelievably wealthy people worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and I was like, why are you telling me? I mean, I was like, why are you telling me this? I mean, I was grateful, but it was really it was wild. And the phone rang till probably 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Hmm.
Just from around the world. I had people in Perth, Australia, and Mykonos, and Tanzania, people in South America, all over the U.S. and Canada. I was like, wow, I was like, it was a little ambitious, it was a little too much. It got a little bit overwhelming for me, but
Yeah.
um,
Dr. Jeff, therapist to the rich and famous.
no, a lot of people were just, I don't know, it was really interesting. People that used to be famous. Um, there was a guy that I just remember always had people flooding on him at the airports, and um, kind of as an athlete, you're only as good as your last game. And when he got cut, I mean, he just kind of fell hard. And now he's in a farm in Virginia and just being simple. And I was like, and this guy was flashy, glamour, just, I was like, he was like, wow, man, and he sent me some pictures that he had of us together. And I was like, oh, it's good. He goes, yeah, he's going to think about that life, that life I don't have anymore. I was like, oh, so. Yeah, kind of like you, Tony, talking about this, your job. I was thinking about that. It was like this identity that people used to have. This is who I used to be. I was the manager of this place, or I used to be this. And when it's taken from you and your identity's gone, you're just like, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are just kind of, my job for so long was to push them to the top and then manipulate them and control them to keep them up there and to keep squeezing every bit of performance out of them. And then when they fell, I wasn't really there to catch. It really wasn't my job. And I don't know, I felt kind of guilty. There's a lot of people I didn't contact yet. I don't know if I'm ready to or not, but I kind of feel I wasn't there for a lot of people on the fall. I don't know. It wasn't really my job to catch them on the fall, but as a human, I feel kind of shitty about it. Um,
Yeah, there's only so much you can do though.
yeah,
You gotta it you didn't do it. It's so like no, I mean you can see like you can see everything we've talked about, right? You're like instantly into bargaining, like, man, I wish I would have I feel sad that I didn't. I'm even a little mad at myself, right?
God,
It's like that's how it happened though.
it was so interesting though. Like people, like somebody I hadn't talked to in like 5, 6 years, how quickly they answered back. I'm like, oh my God, when the doc calls, you got to answer right away. And I was like, oh, and it was just like how I had like some sort of reverence or they had some memory of me. I was like, wow, that was really nice. But yeah, it was really interesting. I don't even know how to process it. I want to kind of write about it, but then I don't want to write about it.
Hmm.
Um, I just want to maybe just let it be. But um, and then I started doing stuff differently in clinic last week. Um, my new my new asshole experiment, but I just go in and people have been sucking me dry and it leaves me feeling very empty. And so I just have people coming in. I was like, hey, I'm Jeff. This is Doc here. And I was like, so two things are going to happen today. I'm going to give you a bunch of pills and you're going to be out of here in 2 minutes. Or we're going to sit here and I'm going to change your life. I'm going to tell you all the secrets. Which one do you want to choose? And people are like, are you the doctor? I was like, yep. Tell me which one you want. They said, you get pills and you're out the door, or you're going to sit here with me and I'm going to change your life. Let's do it together. Pick one. And I was shocked. Like a third of the people about were like, just give me the pills. I'm in a hurry. I was like, okay. And other people are like, well, what's the secret? I was like, you need pills or you're going to jump into the game. I only operate two ways. Don't waste my time because if you take my time, I'm taking it away from somebody else. And they're like, all right, I'm in. What do you got? And I was like, oh, I love that. So that just kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to find a new way not to be sucked dry because this
It's
is
not
not,
bad. It's
well, it's
not
not,
bad.
well, I was thinking too, it's like, I was thinking about you, JR. I was thinking, all these baby birds that are chirping, how do you kind of get people to move to action?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how to, I don't know how to close that gap in the self-help world or I'm giving them help world. Um,
Well, I think the secret is you accept that you can't.
fuck, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, like it's
You laughed at me a couple times already when I say this. It's like, you can't save everybody. I was like, I know, but I'm going to try. And
yeah.
the
Yeah,
cost of it,
it's
the cost is kind of tough. I'm still trying to figure out what that's going to cost me.
a lot.
I know.
It's a lot.
I'm aware. I'm figuring it out.
I think it's a good approach though. Like I think this is a good place to start. I think anytime you can find something where it's like, all right, this approach gives me the answer that I'm looking for as fast as I possibly can. And it gets me to like a no, right? Like a rejection of like the service that I really want to give them. Like I get that as fast as I possibly can, so I don't waste any time with those people that are just not interested in that at all. I think that's really good. Like I think what you did was really cool, and I think it's probably effective, like an effective way to begin the process. Now you got to figure out like now what's the next few steps of this process, and like there's probably different paths, right? That different types of people can go down from there. I don't really know what that looks like, but I think it's cool that you're honing in on like a new process.
Trying to figure it out. So we'll see.
Yeah, me too, man. We're all trying to figure it out,
I'll
figuring
let
it
you
out
know.
together.
I keep promising people I got the secret. I was like, oh shit, I better figure out a secret really quick.
Yeah, you just hand them the book, The Secret.
Nah, I'm not gonna do 'em. I mean, I'm so used to like making exceptional people like absolute freaks of nature. I'm just like, I got fat, tubby goo in front of me. I was like, and there's a lot of stuff I could do here for this person. I could really, doesn't take a whole lot to change their life. So just, it's a matter of motivation. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, let us know what you come up with.
every day it's something different. Keep trying it. So,
Yeah, but I do think there is the realization of like I think what ends up happening, it's kind of like dating, where if you figure out the keys to the code to manipulate her into liking you more and like into taking the action that you wish she would take, I think you end up like two things happen. It's either very temporary because it wasn't authentic and she never really wanted it, like you kind of made her want it, or you end up in a spot where you wish you never did that. Right? It's like, you know what I mean? Like you just continue down that path and then it's like, man, I wish I never would have manipulated this girl into loving me because now I'm either stuck with her and stuck like wearing these masks to keep it up, or I'm gonna have to break her heart completely.
An interesting concept. Oh God. You got about halfway into that first sentence, and I was like, sounds a little familiar.
Yeah, we've all done that.
I don't know. That's
Happens.
that whole concept about the different stones and boulders. I had a lot of questions about that. I was like, yeah, it kind of dances around that.
It does. Yeah, it definitely plays a part in that. What did you find with like your stones and your boulders? Like what were the things? Because I imagine you could probably find a lot of things that you carry for other people. Like I think we just talked about a bunch of them.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of professional stones that I carry. I mean, that's kind of my job.
Hmm.
And it's different because the job I had 3 years ago is different than the job I have now. The job I have now is nothing I ever wanted to do, ever. I'm trying to turn it into something that's more meaningful for me. Before I had super, super motivated people, and I was happy to carry those stones because I was moving people up, and that was very, I think back now, very superficially rewarding, but because it was shiny and cool. But I mean, I'm saving lives now. I'm not just making careers. So it just, I don't know. I need to find the value in it for me. But stones, yeah, I was thinking just in terms of relationships, what I was carrying for somebody thinking it was leadership, but I was like carrying morality. I was carrying somebody else's happiness. I was carrying somebody else's securities. I was trying to, yeah, yeah. I think people that didn't have the same morals for me, and I felt that they just needed leadership. I felt they didn't have, like a strong male figure in their life, and that somehow I could carry that for them. And all that's terrible decision making. I thought it was leadership, but maybe it's just bad decisions. But um,
I feel like you're responsible.
well, I mean, I'm not responsible, but I mean, I should have walked away um, and said, somebody with that kind of morality or that thought process is not healthy. But I felt like I could show somebody it's like, hey, you don't have to exist that way. And that works for a while. It works for some people, but it was like it was heavy and it was very resentful at the end when I was like, I can't believe I did all of that for somebody. So I was kind of like after the fact, go, where was the resentment? I was like, that was an imbalance.
So
So
it was like that was the contract you're making. Like if I pour all this into you, you'll see the light and change.
is it leadership? Or is it a covert contract? Or am I carrying a boulder? And I was like, I wrote all this down. I was like, maybe it's a little bit of all of them. Maybe it's a little bit manipulative. Um,
I think at
so
its like the resentment piece, like it is definitely a covert contract because you had the resentment, right? Like you never talked to him, like you never sat him down and said, "Hey, I'm gonna pour all of this into you." And like on your end, you're gonna work really hard to instill this morality into your life and change, become a better person, and we're gonna be like friends for the rest of our life through this. Right? It was like there's some type of, I guess the question I would have because of the resentment, like what was your expectation? Like what were you expecting to happen? because you carried these stones for them.
Well, I think maybe in some of it, I said, hey, look, I think you're making bad decisions. I think you're associating with people that are immoral. Um, and I don't want to be manipulative and say, if you don't do what I say, then you're gone. But I was like, you need to probably think that you don't have to live this life or have to go down that path. I was like, I'm not asking you to change, but this is where I'm at. If you want to join me in my life, you have to exhibit a higher sense of morality and you have to have a higher sense of right or wrong. It was like, you can choose whoever you want to be, but I will never associate or be that type of person. So you can either step up into my world or, you can go back to where you were before with all those other people. And, you know, but this is how I live a sense of right and wrong, and a sense of service and community. Um, and I've had a couple people just kind of step up and go, yeah, I want to be a different person. I want to be that bigger person. I was like, oh my God, am I manipulating? Or am I
I
providing
I mean,
leadership?
I would like with those people if they like did they like fall off and that or there wasn't resentment towards those people. Like those people have stepped up and like just continued the path or was it no, they
No.
didn't.
As soon
Right.
as everything breaks up, they go back to those same shitty human beings and start doing shitty stuff again. I was like, going, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was like, that's okay. I didn't compromise me. I didn't try to, for the best as I can feel, I don't feel like I was trying to manipulate somebody or, I just said, you don't have to agree with me, but this is who I am. This is come with me or go with them. I don't really care, but I'm not gonna bend to that, you know. Anyhow, so
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing with this is there was an expectation on your end when they like made the choice. Like you gave them the option, which is that is good leadership. It's just like, hey man, this is how I'm living. If you want to come along, cool. If you want to keep doing that, that's cool too. I'm just not going to be a part of it. That's all. Right. And that's correct. But something happened along the lines after that. Something happened after that where you invested into them in some sort of way and you created an expectation on them. Like at some point in the line here after that happened.
yeah.
And then when they fell off, it was like, man, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Or they didn't I think really like it is a piece of like, something that had to be grieved too, right? Where it's like, I thought this person was going to be my friend for the rest of my life. I thought this
Yeah.
person was going to come on the journey with me and I was going to help them and mentor them and didn't work out that way. And that hurt. That stings a little because I know for me personally, like any of those types of relationships, like any guys that I've mentored one on one that just like, they fall off and go back to their old ways. There is this like default feeling of like, I fucked it up.
Oh, every day at my job.
Yeah. So is
So
is is it that there with those people too? Because it's even like an even closer relationship, maybe even more that was
I, you
vested.
know, it's interesting because in relationships, I'm gonna now second guess and bargain myself to death after the fact to go, did I not provide the leadership? Did I not provide the emotional control? Um, so and sometimes I've thought about it as much as I can thought about it. I'll never have closure. I'll never have understanding. It just, when it fell apart, it fell apart. And sometimes I just go, that was their limitation. They couldn't go any farther. They didn't have, they just didn't have it. It's that space shuttle analogy. It just, you have to drop the rocket boosters. They wanted to go where I was going. They just weren't meant to go there. And I don't know. I just have to accept that limitation. And
Well, I think they were meant to go there. They just chose not to.
Well, certainly. Yeah. And it was funny. It was always like something morality, doing illegal business deals. And I was like, why would you do that? I was like, we're at a house and I have a little kid here. I mean, this is like felonies that you're committing, and you're hanging out with people 20 years younger than you that are just drug addicted. I don't want to get in a car with these people because I know there's drugs in their car. If we get pulled over, I'll lose my medical license and I'm going to jail. And um, but let's not make these kinds of bad decisions. We don't need to be with these people. Um,
Do you feel like do you feel like in a way is like they chose those people over you?
oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately what happened. Um, yeah, I feel like how I beat myself up after the fact is I didn't provide the leadership, which is part of why I'm here is I was like, I don't know how I can improve this anymore. I don't, you know, I operate in my own head on some of this going, where did I fail? I don't really have the answer to that because I had so much other chaos around it. So I don't think I've ever had a really good perspective to think about how it fell apart. Um, but it was definitely, yeah, I feel like I was on a moral straight line and I could just see this plummeting. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you self-destructing in front of me? Um, yeah. So I don't know. Of course you're gonna feel like a failure. So
So like
if you're in a leadership position and everything goes to shit, of course it's my fault. I'm the leader.
so this person was it like it was a friend?
Oh, this is the girl. This is the girl that destroyed my life 3 years ago.
Oh, this is the girl. So like that's part of how it all went down.
It was definitely a spiral.
Yeah.
I saw a spiral for a few months and then boom, it all ended on one day suddenly out of the blue. So I was like, oh. So I mean, those were all the indicators leading, which of course, I saw it happening in slow motion and try to talk it and communicate it and lead it. And it just, who knows what was really going in the background. I hope there was drugs. I hope there was infidelity. I was hoping that there would be something that would explain away my lack of not being able to turn this around, that was out of my control. Um, Pretty fucked up. I wish she was on drugs. That would explain a lot. I wish there was a guy that was much better looking and richer than me with a bigger dick. Can you blame her? I was just, but yeah, I just don't know. You just watch it fall apart and you watch, you're just like, oh, no. So you never know. So, but again, I always kind of view it as I was doing great. It was really going well for a long time until it didn't. And then, and then it was a doozy. So,
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're not you haven't quite I mean with this one, yeah, I can see I all right. This was the ex-wife or the ex, like this is the thing that
Yeah.
totally destroyed everything. So I understand why you're stuck on it.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I guess I really hadn't thought about it, so I kind of sat down and was like doing the stone thing this week. Um, but out of all the negative, there's so much positive out of it in terms of growth for me as a human, and it shuts so many doors that I never would have shut on my own. I would be like Tony, in a horrible job doing you think that's probably the best money you'll ever do with the greatest job and this dream. And it's like that door needs to be closed. I should have moved on. I should have been. So it shut a lot of doors for me so I could go find that next thing. And so I don't know what the next thing is, but it's fun. So the process is fun. So,
Yeah. Mm.
but yeah, the relationship part of it, I'm like, I don't know how much of I would have done different. I'd like to think and maybe do some more training on it and go, yeah, I want to hear other perspectives. And I hear all these guys talk about it. Um, I mean, everybody here is like got such, Ian's not here tonight, but I was like, God, everybody's got such great input, hearing you talk about your marriage or Tony talking about his marriage or Zach. And it's just like, I learned from everybody, and I always say you're a bunch of young kids compared to me, but I was like, oh, it's so thoughtful. I mean, you guys have like such great thought processes. I'm like, oh, I'm learning so much, but um, I don't know. I still want to maybe deep dive at some point and figure out if there's anything I could have done different. Just don't know. And sometimes it has nothing to do with me.
I'm sure there's things you could have done different.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's of course there's things we could have done different. I think maybe it's more of a you already know what you can do different. Like you're hearing all the different perspectives. You've been a part of so many of these trainings. Like you've heard how we operate and all of that. Like you already know what you would do differently and what you are doing differently, like in general in your life right now. Like you said, you've grown and you've changed a ton from that really deep valley that you were in. So I think maybe the answer isn't so much trying to figure out what I would have done differently in that relationship and come to acceptance of like just complete acceptance that happened the way it happened and I'll never know what could have been done differently.
It's interesting because, I said like a few weeks ago, I just kind of tucked some stuff in a box, emotionally and slid it under the bed. And I felt really comfortable with it. And when I think back on it now, on that whole, I'm about to come up to the 3-year anniversary here in a few weeks. I was like going, I, I don't, that it was so out of my control when it was happening. I knew when it was happening, I knew all the things that were about to happen to me. And I knew they were going to be completely out of my control. And I said, oh my God, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I'm going to lose this. This is going to be taken away from me. And I just saw it all happen within days. And I just watched it. I was like, going, like I can see into the future. Okay, that's next. Saw that coming. Okay, I was like, on. And I didn't have any control. You're just like, well, let's watch everything unravel. That's fucking wild. That's what happens. And yeah, so there was a lot of acceptance. I was like, nope, yep, that's what happens. And I just come to it. I was like, and you hire lawyers, and you fight the fight, and then you get to that acceptance. It's like that's all I could do. I mean, um, so it's interesting. There was a lot of anxiety, there was a lot of depression, there was a lot of grieving of loss. But I think the biggest thing is acceptance was putting down some of these boulders that I was carrying on my own and not asking for help. I got like
Right.
pages from this, but I was like, I carried a lot of stuff out of shame and boulders. And when I did expose myself and ask for help, people panicked and ran. Um, and so then I said, I will never ask for help again. I even wrote that today. I was like, I would never expose myself like that again to people and ask for help. Just seeing how they ran from me. Um, and then, which was in stark contrast to my 147 project this weekend, which was, you know, all these other people I met that didn't ask for help, that were struggling. And I was like, how do I balance the two of that? Everybody's carrying their own boulder, and everybody's, especially super successful people, are super ashamed to ask for help. Um, yeah, and I was always in such a weird, unique position as like there's all the subordinates and there's all the leaders, and then there's me off to the side, and they could always come to me. So it was always like this. So yeah, but there's a lot of people carrying a lot of boulders that, and me, I carried huge boulders and was just terrified to ever expose myself or embarrass myself or show weakness over the last 3 years. Um, Still to this day, I don't think I'd ever exposed myself to that kind of asking for help, and given when I needed it, how people fled. So it's wild. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to do about it. I mean, it's like talking to a therapist about it. They go, wow, that's a really fucked up story. I was like, yeah, I know you have nothing for me, do you? They go, that's crazy, that's the craziest story I've ever heard. I was like, great, great. Well, at least you get something to talk over dinner tonight. I'm gonna go buy another bottle of vodka and I'll see you next week.
Well,
So
I think when I hear how you're like the conclusions to your that you're coming to with it, I I just feel that I would hope you felt like we wouldn't do that to you. Like we wouldn't run away from you if you brought a boulder to us.
Well, I think there's a different type of human. Like I had some friends that I would clump with you guys that I would love to invite to this group and go, hey, here's my guest. They're just like all of us, um, that are like that tribe that,
Yeah.
and those were the people that when I said, hey, I have a boulder, they're like, I'm on a plane. I'll be there in 6 hours. I was like, fuck yeah. And so I had those people. Um, people are like, look, I'm on the way to go get a bag of lye and some shovels and some plastic bags. Let me know where you want me to meet you. I was like, easy. So I was like, I appreciate it. But yeah, so I mean, I had some of those, but it's just the vast majority of people just panic ran. But again, I think you have to have people that have been through the shit, like everybody here. Um, I wouldn't trust Big Tex at all if I didn't know his background. I wouldn't trust you at all, Jared, if I didn't know your background. And I was like, you guys have been through the shit and you came out okay on the backside. I mean, I feel like I could lean on you guys. Um, I mean, I hope I never have to, but
We all got to lean on each other at some point, it's like the fortunate and unfortunate part of life, right? Like we're all gonna have our peaks and our valleys, and I understand what you're saying. Like I would never do it the way that I did it, but yeah, just want you to know that like we got your back, man. Like
I appreciate that.
if you ever face anything, like we got your
Well,
back.
you'd hope we don't ever anybody has to face anything that
Ho
ridiculous, but
Hopefully the hardest times are behind you. Let's say that.
if they're not, it's fine. You just done hard things before. You got through, the last hard thing, you'll get through the next hard thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, but the boulder, this was a good lesson that you could blow through in 5 minutes or turn it into 5 hours if you wanted to. So it was good timing that it popped up when it did.
Good. I'm glad. Glad. Yeah, I guess the only thing that, yeah, as we're talking here, I think that that question of like the what could I have done differently question, I think it falls firmly in the bargaining stages of grief.
And I'm not sure how much I want to analyze it. I mean, I want,
I think you should leave it alone. I think you don't like that's a like of course we want to go through the stage, but I think you've probably been through this plenty of times already,
yeah,
and going back in there and continuing to search around in the bargaining box when you've probably already taken the lessons that need to be taken from it. It's just kind of a waste of your time and energy at this point.
yeah, I'm pretty aware of a couple things I could have done differently. It was emotional control, not being triggered.
Yeah,
Uh, so I mean, there's some things, but I feel pretty much. I had such, I don't know, you stay on, you just kind of said, this is my benchmark of religious morals. I mean, even though I don't talk about religion or my relationship with Christ or anything like that, I kind of keep most of that very private. But it does shape, you know, where my compass needle points.
yeah.
And so I felt very comfortable that I operated in a very above board, moral, conscientious. Yeah, I felt like I did the right things there. So I don't, I don't think I stumbled on the big things. Could have I finessed it a little bit better? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but
All right.
anyhow,
So, what did everyone else find on this one? Dr. Jeff went deep. He's been going deep all week. What did you guys find with your stones and your boulders?
I'm gonna knock mine out since I'm gonna be at work eventually, and we'll probably still be on the call. Um, the stones that I'm carrying for others that aren't mine, I most carry others' stones when they are in a bad place because I feel I can help fix them. Um, and the boulders that I'm trying to carry alone are the weight of my entire household and everything that that entails. This is how those choices negatively affected your life. With the first one, it often takes time from the issues I need to solve in my own life because I mentally throw everything I have into others. So by the time I get to myself, I'm spent. And for the second one, it leaves me overwhelmed and short with the ones that I love. And by taking it all myself, I may make them feel like they are incapable. Um, I'm definitely a fixer, always have been. I get fulfillment by um, helping others work through problems in their own life because it makes me feel useful. It makes me feel needed. Uh, and then for the second set of questions, which of these four scenarios hit home for you the most and why? Number one, uh, the compliant, because that is me to a T. I always put everyone else before myself. Have you ever thought saying yes was helping someone, but later realized it was hurting them? When dealing with my old assistant manager, trying to help her through all her sobriety problems, um, I was really just enabling her by giving her the answers. And then I'd always wonder whenever she relapsed or whenever she fucked up again, like, where'd I go wrong? I thought we fixed this. Um, the boundary that I needed to strengthen this week was saying no when I have too much on my plate, which I feel I have. Um, I went to both of my managers that I still do have and said, look, you guys are going to be taking over the overnight shifts. I cannot keep doing this and doing my job. I am exhausted. It's just not going to happen anymore. You guys are going to start taking them over from here on out. That means I have to work extra during the day, so be it. But I told them no, I can't do it. And then also when talking to my boss this morning at like 2 a.m., um, she said she noticed I put in some vacation time because I put some in for the 9th. My daughter has her fall festival, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be at my daughter's fall festival, and I put time in for Halloween trick or treating. I'm not missing these things. Like you can find someone else to if you need someone from the hours of 5 to 10 during those 2 days, you can find someone to figure it out. I will be spending time with my family. Um, and then what makes it hard for me to say no, even when you know you should? When I see someone struggling with a bad relationship in their own life. I think that ties back to I've had lots and lots and lots of bad relationships, and I understand the pain in all of that. And I don't want other people to hurt that way, especially people that, I may have a certain affinity towards, I may care about. I don't want them to feel that struggle either. So I have a hard time saying no whenever they're like, I don't know what to do. Should I be with them? Should I fix this? How do I fix this? What should I look for? It's hard for me not to say. It's hard for me to look at them and go, I don't know, man. You got to figure this out though, rather than, okay, here's what we do. Number one, you know, and that's what I got for this week's questions.
Okay. You're right. It's why do you think this piece helping others, like, why do you think you get your value from that?
I don't so much see it as I get my value. I see it as I get my worth. I feel my worth from it. Um, I don't know because it's something I know I'm good at. I know I'm good at talking to people and talking them off the ledge, if you will. Like I'm really good at that. I'm really good at my communication, and I'm really good at in the moment being able to relate to people on a level to where they take a beat and just chill for a second and work through it rather than be in panic mode. And so when I do it, I go, man, I'm fulfilling something that I'm good at. I helped them. They're maybe they're going to remember me. Maybe they're going to go on in their life and they're going to learn from this. And I've helped another person on this world. It just makes me feel useful. I don't like feeling useless.
Was there a time that you wanted that from somebody and didn't get it?
Most of my childhood, I wanted someone that would reach out and go, let me help you.
I mean, I wrote down almost some of the exact same words under compliant as you did, like feel wanted, feel trusted, feel important, feel desired. So I wrote all that very similar words to you.
All I got when I was a kid, other than my mother who did the best with what she had, and don't get me wrong, she did well, um, but she just wasn't equipped. Other than her, I really was kind of left to my own devices to figure things out. The therapist never knew how to talk to me. The placements I had to go to had a generic fix all solution for everyone. So everyone got the same treatment. It never felt individualized. It never felt unique. It never felt like they were caring about me. They were just trying to solve a number. Um, and so a lot of the stuff in my life I had to do by myself. And I don't like thinking that other people feel alone.
So you like to give the answers in the back of the book.
Yeah, or at least show them how to get there. I've realized as I've been in Warriors Way and King's community that instead of just going, here's the solution, it's a here's the problem. I want you to do it so you can see the solution.
Do you get resentment on the back end of that when that doesn't work well?
I don't know. Is disappointment considered resentment?
Kind of.
So
I think
I get disappointed. I get
Yes.
the feeling of, man, I expected so much more from you. Like, what are you doing? We've been through this exact problem and you're still not doing it. Why? What is not connecting here? It's more of a frustration of like you have told me what you know works. You have had this belief in the things that we have talked about. Why is it not connecting? Where is the wire not plugged in? Harvey's got a grin on his face like nobody's business.
I'm just listening to this exchange of two like-minded individuals.
no, I mean it's interesting when you had a rough go of it and you had to figure it out the hard way. I think that's everybody on this call here tonight had things didn't go quite as sparkly as our childhood and our young adulthood was supposed to go. And when you come out the back end, you're like, I've got knowledge.
Yeah,
I can't unfuck all my problems yet, but I got a good deal of them out of the way. You should listen to me.
right.
Um,
I can't unfuck mine, but I can unfuck yours.
well, but I mean, most of mine I can. I mean, but there are some that I'm like, oh, surprise.
Yeah,
And those are good ones to work on. And I guess to be able to say the words, I don't have it all figured out.
no.
Uh, I'm confident with that. I love saying that.
I have had to come to acceptance in saying that. I have really had to grab a hold of it and make it my own. As of like the past year, just saying, hey, I don't know, I haven't been there yet, but this is how far I've gotten. That pulling others up rather than pushing others up mentality has really been a big thing. Dr. Jeff, I don't know if you've had to hear that mentality before, but it's a when we pull others up, we're already up there. We already see the landscape. We know what's going on. As opposed to when you're beneath them and you're pushing it up, you're like, if you could just get up to this cliff, I don't know what's up there, but get up there.
Like this is what I heard as far as what you should be
Right.
doing to get up there. This is what I
Right.
think. I never been there.
I
I
haven't
never
seen it
been
yet.
there,
Tell me what
but
you see.
this is I read a book about getting there.
Yeah.
That's
That
the, never take advice on how to run a marathon for somebody that's never run a mile.
Yeah.
yeah, essentially. Essentially.
But yeah, I guess I do get resentment if
Mhm.
in the form of disappointment
Disappointment is resentment. I'm disappointed in them
in them and myself.
and in
What could I
myself
have
that
done
I
better?
couldn't have done better. I
And
couldn't have done better at them doing better.
well, and the funny part is when we're in those situations and we give them our knowledge, we give them our knowledge. And we sit there, and go, oh, well, I could have done more. I could have done better, but you couldn't have. Because if you could have, you would have done it. Everything is on them. They took the knowledge. They did not run with it the way that they should have. That's on them. That's not on you.
But you know what? I find that on a day-to-day basis, little micro failures of leadership there, if I'm going to take on that task in my life to share and to pull people up, push them up, whatever direction I go with, but usually I'm trying to pull people up. I just feel that when I don't succeed, could I have said it differently? Could I have, I don't know, there's something because I feel like I do the same thing as you and I go, I wish I was at JR's World of Acceptance going, hey, can't save everybody. I was like, I know.
Well, it's kind of like your leadership statement you made earlier. As the leaders, we feel that it falls on us, that everything that goes wrong is our fault because we're the leader. But like this, even this last 6 weeks has really had to show me like my store was running pretty good. We were shorthanded because it's just the nature of the game in a gas station world. You're always going to be shorthanded. But everything was running well. I leave for 6 weeks and everybody lost their minds on day two. That's not my fault.
Well, but those people were never hired to become leaders. Those were just simple followers. That's why you were put in that position. So the
Right.
thought that there was some sort of expectation that people who were never told that they were going to have to be leaders someday would suddenly step up. I think that's a sign of your boss's poor leadership to fail to recognize that. Um, and not to recognize that they put a good leader in place and then didn't take the steps to replace them. So I think that's their poor leadership, not yours. Um, but I think you became a better leader in your own household because of your
Yes.
time away. So I think you grew as a leader.
Well, and I see it's funny because it's someone that my boss is someone that I put such emphasis on of as far as a business mind. This is one of my mentors. She's amazing at her job. She successful. She leads a lot of people that are very dedicated to her. And it's almost like we do with our fathers. I passed her now. Like, can I can I quantify a business as well as her? No. She's a whiz with numbers and I just don't math. But I see where her short-sightedness on everything that she does is. And I see how I can look at that and go, yeah, that's never going to work. But I just also see the wisdom in not looking at her and going, you're wrong. Um, it's kind of like, smart people know that a tomato is a fruit. Smarter people know not to put it in a fruit salad. Um, it the fact that it took her and three other store managers to run my store while I'm gone really made me realize that like maybe she doesn't have all the answers and maybe that's not the mentor that I need to be following anymore. She got me to that point and the rocket boosters fell off. Um, So it was weird the conversation that I had with her today. Instead of constantly trying to gain knowledge from her like I do, I was of the mind of, this is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. I'm not asking your opinion on it. This is what I'm doing as a leader in my store. This is what I continue to do. We'll go from there and I'll let you know when I get there. I will inform you, like, because she was definitely, well, you didn't tell me that you were working overnights and I need to know this information. Okay, well, it's on my schedule. I've accurately put it on my schedule. Well, I don't have the time to check your schedule, Tony. That's not my fault.
Well,
I am directly one of your employees.
it sounds like a boulder that you're having to carry at work. You don't have anybody to ask for help. I think you're kind of looks like you've been abandoned. So I think
Yeah, I definitely feel
you're no
abandoned.
longer a boulder, you're an island.
Yeah, it's a, she always says, you need to reach out and ask me for help when you need help. And then when I do, hey, I'm really shorthanded. Hey, I need someone to take these hours. I need a day off. I need to sleep. Oh, well, everyone's just as shorthanded as you. So then why do you tell me to keep asking you for help if you're not going to help?
That's a great leadership lesson you just learned there. So
Yeah. So
leaders eat last, except for she doesn't give a shit whether you're eating or not. So
right. I mean, she'll give a shit when I walk out that fucking door onto another adventure.
yeah, do it with joy in your heart, though. Don't do it with resentment. I think you learned so much from this. I hope you take time to think about how much you've grown as a husband, a father, and as a leader. There's so much positive you can take out of this. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're getting shit on the way out the door, but God, I hope you take a minute to think back. I mean, just hearing you over a span of a few weeks talk about it, I was like, oh my God, listen to him just grow every time I hear you talk about this stuff. I was like, ah, you're fine.
I'm definitely not as afraid of the unknown going
Well,
into a new job.
you had identity issues a couple weeks ago, and I think you've realized it's an identity.
Yeah.
It's fear of losing that identity.
Yep.
And when somebody hits you with a sledgehammer, I think you're able to drop that identity a little bit easier. I think her being
Yep.
such an asshole and then you being treated so poorly, it's easier to shed that identity. So you're very lucky. Some people are gently, they can't make that decision and that identity stays with them for such a long time. There's such regret and remorse and grief around it. You almost kind of want somebody to be horrible to you so you can walk away a little bit easier with an easier, heart.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I
it's the whole region beta paradox. You'd be better off if things were worse.
yeah,
What is
I'd
that
be
called?
lying if I haven't sat there and thought that, please just push me a little bit further so I have a reason.
Yeah, it's called the region beta paradox.
Region beta paradox.
Yeah, it's the paradox of like it's it's not bad enough for you to do anything about it yet. And most people like spend a majority of their life in that position where it's like this is okay. And it's not bad enough to leave this relationship. It's not bad enough to leave this job. It's not bad enough to move out of this apartment. There's not that much mold in it. She doesn't treat me that bad. And at least we have sex and at least I get the benefits of this job and it pays
Right.
well. Right. It's like all these things. It's like it's not bad enough, but now it is. You've crossed the barrier.
Right.
Um, it hurts bad enough to move. So it's good. I had to be in a hospital bed for it to hurt bad enough for me to move. So I get it. Happens to all of us. We
Yep.
find ourselves in that scenario.
I'm definitely very close to that. It's bad enough for me to leave and get a mixed job until I find something better
Yeah.
position. And
Motivation.
I'm
You have new
real
motivation
close.
because of it. Yeah, that's great. I love that motivation.
Yeah. All right. Well, keep us updated on it, man.
Yeah.
Keep putting
Sorry.
resumes out there.
Didn't mean
Yeah.
to hijack your talk. I was like, go, Tony. Me too.
Zach Gerson, you guys
Yep, I
got?
got. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
go
hop
ahead.
in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so I kind of worked backwards this week, because I was really struggling to figure out, what boulders am I carrying alone. So I started off with, what boundaries do I need to work on this week? And one that I kept highlighting and circling was refusing to carry others' emotions, as if they're my own. Listen, but don't absorb. And that quickly turned into a boulder of, that I carry alone, carrying others' emotions, feeling like I must absorb them, manage the moods, their struggles or conflicts, um, of others. And so I skipped to, I think it was the last question, what makes it hard for you to say no, even when you know you should? And I think, and this is what I wrote, and I'll explain it. Being a strong one, I've built an identity on handling it all. So limit, or so admitting limits feels like a weakness. And I was trying to figure out, where is that coming from? And the obvious one was, the household I was growing up in. I was kind of that person to take on the emotions of my siblings growing up, their problems, their stress, the conflicts they were in, all of that. And I was like, that was forever ago. Like, let me try to think of some more recent ones where it just kind of kept, snowballing. And once I decided to stop, playing sports and kind of ended that chapter, I got into coaching pretty quickly. At the high school I was at, football and track, and it was the same thing. All these kids, I wasn't too far from their age, so I was able to, relate to them fairly easily, more easily than, coaches who are way older than me. And it was the same thing. These kids were coming to me with their problems, their conflicts, and all that. And I felt like it was my responsibility to kind of absorb that information and try to fix it for them. Um, and it's funny because I think back to that time and I'm like, I'm a broke college student, and the amount of, kids that I really felt for, and I almost want to say took under my wing. And, I was driving to and from practice. I remember multiple occasions, like kids are like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to eat till tomorrow morning at the school breakfast, the free breakfast they get. And I'm like, fuck, man. So I'm running through Burger King with $15 in my bank account, buying these kids dinners. Um, and I think just that, and then I guess still being that person my siblings come to, um, has it's one of the boulders that kind of it's heavy because it does weigh a lot, you know. And then same thing with personal training. I mean, like I've said this several times over however long we've been doing these calls. You almost become a therapist for these people. They tell you all their problems. Um, you build a unique relationship. It's not just, hey, we're doing this at the gym today. This is what you're supposed to eat. You're hearing about everything. Um, just recently, I have a client that I train, been with her for a few years. She calls me on a random Tuesday at like 2 p.m. Zach, I don't know what to do. I'm like, what's going on, Kim? Like, my husband says he wants a divorce. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, this is not what I was expecting. And obviously, like, I kind of stayed away from that because I was like, Kim, I'm not getting involved in this. Um, but it's a lot of weight. A lot of people are coming to me with their issues and problems, and it's hard for me to kind of just listen and not absorb because it's something I've been doing since I was 14, 15 years old. Um, and I've been aware of it. It's something that, Carly has really helped me with as well. And also like a lot of her issues, with some of her family members. It's so hard for me not to jump in and just and like I end up absorbing it. It becomes my issue, and it's just a never ending trail of like taking on other people's emotions and problems, which ultimately like doesn't allow me to, I guess, be my best self when I'm called upon, or um, it kind of, carrying all these other people's emotions and feelings and problems and stress, being that person they come to, you almost like don't work on your own shit, because you're so exhausted by the end of the day. It's like, fuck this. Like, I just listened to 10 people complain about their life's issues today. Um, we're not going to worry about mine. I'm going to bed. We'll try again tomorrow. Um, but it's something I've been working on. Like I've slowly, kind of indirectly, I've been trying to just listen, like in one ear, out the other. Um, because there was a point last year, actually, it was early this year, where I was that person for everybody, and I got really overwhelmed, and I was not my best self emotionally, physically, spiritually, and it almost ended, my relationship. And like I said, probably a month and a half ago, like Carly and I we were seconds away from splitting up, like bags packed, ready to drop off at her parents' house. And a lot of that during that time, like again, I wasn't, my best self. And I wasn't really aware of like, why is this happening? I was kind of being selfish and ignorant. And I quickly realized, like in that moment, like, dude, your problems are in this house, not outside, you know. Take care of you, take care of, the family I'm growing, and stop prioritizing or trying to fix other people's problems when, you know, in my own household, like we weren't good at the time. And I was neglecting it because I was so exhausted from everybody else's issues. So
That's pretty good, man. It's a challenge. You got everyone else's stones just piling up on you.
yeah. And like I said, like it does get heavy sometimes, but
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
yeah, and then it gets to the point where it gets too heavy and you just kind of collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to manage, but you really got to take inventory of the stuff. Like right now, one of my sisters is going through a divorce and she's going to ruin her husband's life and try to steal the kids from him and do
Hmm.
all this type of bullshit, you know. And she's texting my wife Audie like every day, talking to her about it.
Yeah,
And we've both just like is I would love to help them. I would love to help them turn things around and fix their relationship and get to a better place. But the reality is like she's already made decisions that you can't really come back from. And I don't have the time and energy to put into it. It's not that I don't care about them, but I can't. I can't care about it.
right.
We all have things that we have to be able to like focus on. We can't care about all the problems that are going on in the world. We can't care about everyone else's relationships, everyone else's hardships. You know, like it's not that we're cold-hearted people. It's like we only have so much time, energy, and resources. And if the people in our own home, like ourselves and our children or our wives, like if that stuff isn't going well, why are we taking our time and our energy and our resources and giving it to other people instead of them? That's what we're responsible for.
Hmm.
Because if everything turns to shit in our own home, we ain't helping nobody.
Right. And I realized that pretty quickly early this year.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. I remember seeing you in the gym that morning.
Yes, I do remember.
I'll
Yes.
never forget it. I
Yes.
was like, dang, I don't know if they're making it through this one.
Yes. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, it was all time low. But like since then, like we've done nothing but grown and mature and have done we both have done a ton of self work on each other and allowed each other to, have like that ups and downs through the process because it's never gonna be just all highs. Um, but yeah, it does get tough. Um,
So
I
Zach,
think, yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I view you as like the guy carrying like a boulder under each arm.
Zach is Zach is Atlas. He's
Well, I mean,
got
like
the whole
physically,
world on his back.
but I mean, like physically imposing. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, just to hear your story of how you carried, your family. Um, I mean, who do you ask for help? Because you're carrying a lot of boulders and you're not asking for help. I mean, where does that?
Nobody. I'm telling you, like I've never I've never like really have done a lot of internal deep thinking until this call started, until we started doing these calls. Um, and I'm telling you, like it has made a huge impact on me.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
would look to you and I'd go, man, who does this guy go to for help?
yeah,
I mean, your
I
whole
mean,
identity.
it's, well, and I think an issue with that was, when I would go to people for help, it just wasn't there. Or it was like, wow, dude, you're struggling, like almost like kind of like pushing me down further, and it was like, oh, fuck this, like I'm not asking for help again. Um,
You got the Dr. Jeff experience.
no doubt.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Nobody expects Atlas to stumble.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, but did you sell anything to anybody else except for your Atlas? I mean, that's what you sold to everybody. That was your
Right. No,
package.
yeah, that was it. And I think that comes from, having to be the strong sibling for because I'm the oldest of six. Um, and there's six of us in a 10-year gap. So,
And you sell that professionally as a career.
right.
That's your job is
Hmm.
I got all the answers.
Right. And I'll be honest, I never like connected it. Why did I want to be a trainer or why this or that until we started doing these calls and I was like, and actually think you mentioned it real early on, something along the line. I think you mentioned something like, oh, you're this strong dude who power lifts carrying all this stuff. And I was like, dude, that's why I'm personal training. Like it was just a quick realization for me. Um
I remember that comment. It was shitty. Sorry.
no, but
It's like such a good like analogy though. It's like
it was, but it was because I feel for Tony right now because I mean, I'm constantly being pushed to, hop on a salary and work all these hours because of the short-term satisfaction of, oh, you'll have these benefits and this and that. And it's like, I've told everyone from the jump, I'm going to do what I want to do, um, or else I'm not going to be happy.
Zach is a hardcore eight. Ain't nobody controlling him, man. Ain't
I mean,
happening.
I
Ain't
seriously
happening.
though,
Dude, I remember when you guys when Carly first got pregnant,
I
everybody
mean,
was like, Zach needs to get his shit together. Like he needs to get a real
everyone
job.
was jumping on me to, work out of prison because of
Everybody. Yep.
it was all I heard for 6 months straight. Because
Hmm.
Carly's dad works out of prison, and it was a direct. I could have got in really easily and worked these hours and got this pay and had benefits. And I'm like, I told Carly right from the jump when everyone started hopping on me, Carly, it will ruin our relationship. I will not be happy. Um, it will not work. And at first, like she kind of pushed and was like, I really think you should do this. And I kind of held my ground, and I think she would agree, like what I'm doing and what I'm trying to pursue is much greater and much better for myself individually, and what it's going to do for us as a family.
God, I wish I had that vision when I was your age. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He grew up in a different time, man. He grew up
Yeah.
in a different time. Like everybody slightly younger than me, like they grew up like watching Gary V and watching like people make money on the internet and
Yeah.
like
Gary Vee was someone I watched very heavily
I know
in
you
high
did.
school.
All of you
Yep.
guys did. Like all you there was a time
Yeah.
where it was like everyone's watching all these kids are watching Gary V and all these kids are
Yep.
like, you know, they're seeing these people like just talk about entrepreneurship and
Mhm.
having visions for your life and all the self-improvement you could want is on YouTube now. Like you guys had all
Yeah.
that
It
stuff.
was all right in our hands.
You didn't know how good you had it. You know how
Yeah.
hard it was? You know how hard it was for me to get my hands on some shit like that? Like I had to join a cult and listen to it
Hmm.
on CDs at one point in my life. Like
Yeah.
that's how hard it was to find. It wasn't out there. So yeah, it's funny looking back on that because I remember, dude. I remember
Yeah.
everybody was on your
I
ass.
mean, it was nuts.
And they weren't letting up either.
Oh, it
Like
was. I mean, there was a span where I didn't go I didn't go near anyone. I didn't go over anyone's houses because I didn't want to hear it anymore. Um, and slowly over time, like and listen, they still make comments like, "Oh, you should go jump work in the prison." Um, and my process is a little bit slower, but I'm telling you, it's been so good for myself, and I think Carly would agree. You know, not working 10 p.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Like that sounds miserable.
yeah, you made a good job. I'm glad you held the line on this one because you're right. It probably would have went south pretty quickly. And
Extremely,
yeah, and you see the life that they have, you know, the
for
people
sure.
that are like trying to tell you to do this, like, no,
Hmm.
come on, you have to do this now. We all had to do it. You got to do it now.
Yep.
Like, can't
Like
keep
it
pursuing your
doesn't look that
dreams.
great.
No, it
It's,
looks terrible.
yeah.
It looks terrible. Like you dig a little deeper than the surface, like you
Oh
see
yeah.
what's really going on.
Hmm.
So, yeah, good on you, man. And this whole, yeah, we have to. I feel like we've like this conversation is really challenging for all of us, and I get it. Like I understand. I've had to get to a place where I just have to pick my battles. Like I have to pick like who I'm going to care about.
Right.
Like who I'm truly going to um pour into and invest into because I spent like in just in the beginnings of building the Kings community, I spent endless amounts of time, you know, like just for free, like I just because I didn't know what we were doing. We were just building this community. I was hopping on running these group calls like every week and um, you know, pouring into a lot of these guys. And then it was like 2 or 3 years of that. And then we started having like Russ and eventually Tex and other people like jumping on to like run the calls. And like I was burnt out. I was dead. Like I could not give anymore. I had to relinquish it to some other guys. Like I'm so thankful for Tex, honestly, and some of the other guys that came in that could actually, you know, run the calls and help out because it got to a point where I was just totally my cup was so empty and it was so empty for so long because I was working my day job and then I was coming home and I would spend, you know, a couple hours making videos and then another couple hours in the Discord and then I would go to bed and wake up and go to my job and come home and see my family for like an hour and then go back right to it. Like everyone goes to bed at 7:30 and I'm here, I'm making these videos, and then I'm hopping on the Discord, and then I'm hopping on the group call, and I'm pouring into these guys. And after, 2 or 3 years of that, like I didn't really see anybody changing.
I was just gonna bring up like when you get to that point, like how frustrating or how do you deal with it when you don't see the change from others?
That resentment, the disappointment.
Yeah, it was a disappointment. It was like a total burnout of like, am I even doing like why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
Like it was just it was for me, it was the moment like where I really did have to start searching and calling on people for help. It was like it was the moment where not long after, because I there were guys that were helping. There's a bunch of great guys in the server that were helping out and um spent a lot of their time in there, like talking to people and talking to guys and walking them back from the edge. But at the end of the day, it was like a lot of those guys, their lives were a total shit show.
Hmm.
Like a lot of guys that left the server when I put up a paywall and started moving it in a different direction, like their lives were were not good. Like, and I don't want to gossip about them or anything, but like, we see guys come back from time to time. Like one of the dudes just came back recently, and that from the mutiny, like you guys probably saw the message that he put out there. And it's like I know I'm sure a lot of them have just gone in a different direction, unfortunately. But it was like I knew something had to change, and then I just started praying, like, just send me somebody that is doing it in a way that is working. Like, just show me something different because I clearly have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, I know a lot of stuff. I understand psychology. I understand business. I understand marketing. I've seen like how I've transformed my own relationship in these different ways, but how do I take that and help people with all of this? Like, what are the keys here? Like, and then Rick comes into my life. And all of a sudden I'm on a podcast with him and this dude I've never like I didn't know him at all. I saw him on like a TikTok live, him and Andrea, his soon to be wife here, like just talking to people on there. And I like clicked on his profile. I was like, oh, this guy's a men's coach. And I just messaged him and said, hey, would love to connect sometime. And then his assistant Randy like sets up she's like, yeah, we'll have you on our podcast. And I come on there with them. And then we end the podcast and he calls me a couple of days later. And he's like, hey, I don't know why, but I'm feeling called to do something with you. He's like, I have all these people try and do stuff with me all the time. I got Brad Lee and all these famous people. They're always trying to like collaborate with me on something, but I don't know why. Like I'm feeling called to do something with you. And I was like, I just got to tell you, man, I've been praying for someone like you to come into my life. So if that's how you're feeling right now, I'm graciously accepting your help.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was like when I started like genuinely seeking the help because it was like I was walking around with this fucking boulder for years,
Yeah.
and it was hurting my family. It was hurting my relationship. It was killing me because I was investing all of this extra time, energy, and resources into something that wasn't bearing fruit for me and my family. And my wife was like looking at me like, how much longer are you gonna do this? Like you're making no money. And I know it seems like this is your like passion project or something, but you're up till 2 in the morning. You're waking up at 5 in the morning and driving to this job, and then you're coming home and you're exhausted. You got nothing left for us. Like, damn, you're right. You're right. I can't do that forever.
Hmm.
So I think just getting to this point of understanding that we all need help. There's shit that we're gonna deal with that we're not gonna be able to handle. Um, and for me, it was asking God, like, please send somebody, just send somebody to help me. Anybody, I don't care. Just bring someone to. But I also was actively like reaching out to people. Like I was searching. That was my mission at that point. Like I didn't care about, I wasn't starting any new coaching programs. I wasn't, starting a podcast. I wasn't, doing anything else. Like I wasn't even really making a lot of content at the time. It was just, I know that I need to find something, whether it was a course or a person or whatever. Like I needed something. I needed an answer. And that's how it showed up. Like it's always shown up in different ways like that. It's always been a person that has come into my life. My first mentor, Dusty, like he came into my life. I remember listening to a podcast I was pulling into my house, like pulling up into my house. And I was listening to this podcast. I think it was Joe Rogan and Lance Armstrong at the time. It's forever ago. This was 10 years ago. Lance Armstrong had the whole ordeal, right, with his stuff. And he was finally like coming clean and talking, and the podcast was ending, and he was thanking Joe. He's like, "Thank you so much for having me on here and allowing me to like share my story because so many people have totally written him off. Like they wouldn't even talk to him at that point because he's just this liar, this cheater, this
Hmm.
dude, this terrible guy, right?" And I remember Joe, he just went on this rant. Like I was pulling into my driveway and he goes on this rant. He goes, dude, please, you don't have to thank me for anything. I got the coolest job in the world. I get to sit around and talk to people that I'm really interested in. There's some poor asshole right now that's working at a job that he doesn't work at, not making the amount of money that he wants to make so he can pay for his mortgage at a house that he doesn't even want to live in. He just like I don't remember exactly what he said, but he just went on this rant about like there's people out there living a life that they don't even want to live. And I'm living the dream right now. So you don't have to thank me for anything. Like my life's awesome. I just remember pulling into my driveway and sitting there and listening to the last like minute or two of him talk about that. And then it ended and I like looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, he was fucking talking about me.
Yeah.
And literally not a half hour later, Dusty Douglas walks into my house and he becomes my first mentor in business.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's like every time like I've come to these crossroads in my life, there's always somebody comes into my life. And then I spend five years with Dusty learning about leadership and building sales teams and reading all of these books and doing this personal development. Um, and then that thing crashes and burns. And I go into like a depression and I'm like smoking weed every night and giving up on my dreams. I'm like, I guess it's just not meant to be. I didn't have what it took. And then Kenton Martin comes into my life. He teaches me how to make TikTok videos. And then I go on that journey, right? And then I build the Discord and then like every time, man, there's just these transitions of these pivotal people that most of them aren't even doing like what they were doing when I met them anymore. Like Dusty doesn't do that at all anymore. Runs a construction management company. Kenton doesn't teach people about social media at all anymore. He teaches salespeople how to close and like gets them into jobs, closing deals for people. It's like these brief windows of time where these guys had exactly what I needed at that time to get me to the next phase of my life. You're telling me like there's no God, guys? Like you're telling me there's the thinnest threads and the perfect timing of these people that how would I ever like I'm not friends with these people. We have nothing in common. Rick and I have like nothing in common. Barely anything at all, except for like our passion for what we do with the guys. Dusty and I, nothing in common. In no world would we have ever met or become friends. Like I grew up in the suburbs. He's a hick country guy. Like nothing in common. Ken Martin and I, nothing in common. I'm a 32-year-old man at the time, about to have my third child, and he was a 19-year-old kid that just became TikTok famous and stopped working at a call center. And he had this giant afro at the time. Like this is just
Pretty crazy.
it's crazy like how these people come into our eyes. Like all of you guys in here, like other than Zach, because you came in through family, but like all of
Right.
you guys here, like in what world would we have ever met each other or even known each other outside of this? Probably no chance. So like I'm a firm believer in this concept of like the leaves, the branches and the roots people. Like all of us, we're all coming in contact with each other for reasons and seasons. And like sometimes it's very brief. Like there's been plenty of people that have come into the community and like that's just a leaf guy. Like he hung out with us and it was cool and everything. Um, but like he's gone. He may come back, he may not, I don't know. Then the branches that like are here for even longer, and then a storm comes through and there's a mutiny and all those dudes are gone. And then there's the roots people that like stay for forever. And you have no idea who's gonna be who. I have no idea. Like that's why and every time I think I know, I'm like that God's just like, you don't know shit. You have no idea. You thought that person was gonna be your best friend for the rest of your life? Sorry about it. Not him. And it's like this random dude that's dating your cousin that you just like meet at this concert that they go on a date for the first time.
Yep.
Like legitimately the first time I met you, Zach, I was like, I'll probably never see that dude again.
Yeah.
Those were my exact like we
Right.
walked away, I was like, Carly's gonna ghost Carly's gonna ruin that so fast.
Yeah. That
I have
is
no
so
idea.
crazy. No idea.
Yeah, I have given up. That's
Yeah.
why when we talk about like the putting all of this weight and expectation on helping people and getting them to like these higher levels, I have no idea who's gonna do it and who isn't. I don't. But as long as people are doing it, I know I'm doing what I need to do. And I'll get better at it as we go. And the people that don't do it, they just it's not on me.
Yeah.
It can't be because I can't carry that around. I thought this person like this guy's got everything. There's so much potential. I just got to crack open a couple of these boxes and show him this thing and teach him that thing, and then once he's got it, he's gonna run and he'll probably end up being this huge guy in our community to help us all this thing. And he was gone in 2 weeks. I have no idea. And
It's
I
so funny. I see a lot of those guys that pop in with 50 posts, and I just want to like, and I was like, you know what? They'll be gone in a week, and they always are.
yeah. So why are we stressing out so much about it?
You know what? Because I had that interaction with you, and then I had, you kind of weirdly saved me at the right time, and you had no idea you did. And then I listened to Andrew for a bunch of calls, and he saved me in a different way. And I was like, because there's that thing, it was that timing, and you're like going, how do I bottle that, and how do I make sure that's available to the next person? And
Yeah, but it's not
like,
up to us.
well, I think it's all interesting because everybody here has done that. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, hearing Tony talk and Zach talk, it's like that's their essence of who they are as humans. Um, I hear Gerson struggling with it all the time. I was like, he's trying to like, you know, wrangle with the different versions of himself that he is. And I was like, I love that battle. I was like, it's just a timing that, six or seven of us are in here. I was like, oh, yeah, we're all the same person, but absolutely completely different. but it's
Yeah.
all the yeah. I love it. I love the fight. I love the battle.
Yeah. But there was
Can't wait.
so much that had to happen for us all to be in the mindset that we needed to be in to like be here. There's so many things that had to happen.
Mhm.
Like so many thin threads and massive events and like everything had to happen exactly how it happened for us to all be here having these types of conversations. And for me, like when I really look at that, I'm just like, that's you. Like that, I got nothing. I got nothing on this. I can't take credit for any of that. And when I like come to that conclusion, I can also come to the conclusion that it's like, oh, something bigger is happening with these people that aren't getting it yet. And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a bad like we put the judgment on it like that it's a bad thing and we didn't do a good enough job. Maybe we were a link in the chain for something that's going to happen for them down the road, or maybe not. I don't know.
A great
Maybe them,
perspective.
yeah, maybe them going through the struggles that they're going through that will lead to their eventual disaster and
Hmm.
downfall is exactly what their child needs to see to make sure that never happens to them, or exactly what they're, I don't know. Like I don't, I can't comprehend all the things that are happening that need to happen for like the people that are going to get it. I don't, I can't, right? Just like if someone would have told you, Dr. Jeff, that like everything that went down for you would lead you to like the place that you're in now, or like lead you to a deeper understanding or lead you to a better place, you would have said, fuck you. Like, yeah, like I can't see that right now. And same for everybody else. Like when you're in it, all we can see, all we can think about is like, man, this sucks. I hate this. I don't want to see everything that is happening happen. I don't want to watch my body fall apart. I don't want to watch my relationship fall apart. I don't want to watch my finances fall apart. But for everyone in here, those moments of the fall aparts were the things that we needed to like get kicked in the nuts and make some really serious changes in our lives that led us to like becoming the men that we are and continue becoming the men that we're really destined to be. And maybe there was some people like in our lives where we watched certain things happen to them and we watch their bad behaviors and their like cycles of addiction or poverty or divorce or whatever it is. Maybe that all needed to happen for you to see that, or for someone else to, one of the other kids to see it. All I'm trying to say is that I do believe that there is like a greater design for this, and part of the design, part of the system is that the minority of people is gonna get it.
I sent you that message this weekend. I can't wait to see who you're going to become.
Yeah, I love that. I've been thinking about that.
I don't know what's going to happen. I was like, but I can't. I love being at the front row to watch.
Yeah,
I was thinking about the same thing. I was like, every time I hear like Gershon would post some stuff on me, I was like, can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see what happens when Zach is talking. I was like, can't wait to see who he's going to become. God, I remember being that age. I mean, I talk to you like you're a fucking child, but I mean,
You're
if
good.
you're a
you
child,
are.
think you're carry me like a tiny sack of potatoes. That was like a large giant human being that could crush me. But I was like, can't wait to. I love hearing and that. I love watching who you're becoming in slow motion. I was like, I can't wait.
It's
So,
exciting, isn't it? I
uh,
think I think that's also like I know you were kind of throwing shade on the old job, but I think that's also part of what's exciting about it because you are working with the smaller group of people that are actually going to most likely like take it and run with it. They are going to more than likely improve, and it's exciting to see what they do with it. Like it's exciting to see how far they take it. Or, it kind of sucks to watch them fall from the great heights of where they were too. Um,
I mean, that was intoxicating they get very motivated people.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's more fun to work with them. Is it more fun to work with a motivated people that's just like you give them things to do and they're just doing it and you're like, this guy gets it.
Without question. Yeah, it's like, oh, he's bringing the secret sauce to this game. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's way better. It's way
I got
better.
I got into an argument this week with some 75-year-old guy with out of control diabetes. He goes, well, I don't care if my life is shortened by 15 years. I want Coca-Cola. I was like, what? What? I was like, you have grandkids, you have children, you have a wife sitting next to you. It's like, oh, yeah. So I just like going, can't help everybody.
You
It's
can't
like,
help the diabetic that loves Coca-Cola.
but it was like such an I was like going, I just how did I get baited into this conversation? He should have been the 2 minute, here's your pills and get the fuck out the door. I've got other people's lives I can make it. I was like, damn it, I got sucked into this one.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
Not
It's
for nothing, I was legitimately just thinking about grabbing a Coca-Cola as soon as I got here.
well, I hope this changes
Tony,
your
I'm
mind.
calling you after this call. You and I are gonna have a discussion. I'm gonna change your life.
Yeah, dude. Send them a picture of that 75-year-old.
Hey, no, I
Paint
only have like well, I police
Both
myself to
you.
only have one soda a day at most. So I'm
zero would be better.
Zach,
well, yeah,
please
zero would be better, but
get
if
him,
all I'm
Zach.
doing is the one soda a day, and I don't even do it every day. I just
It's
make sure I don't go over one.
it's pretty terrible.
Usually it's water. I've been drinking liters of water.
Great. Stop drinking all soda.
I want a fucking Coca-Cola. I don't care if it shortens my life by 15 years.
God, all right, you are that guy. I don't know what you're doing here. Every time I pick up like a bottle of soda and I look at how many grams of sugar in it, I don't know why every time I'm just like, God damn, I can't believe people are drinking this stuff every day.
I was
So
like,
start picking up to zero.
I only get 40, 50 grams of carbs a day. I was like, oh my God, that's how many grams of carbs are in a
Oh, that's
Coke?
cute. That's what I get in a snack.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's literally I'm the same. Like this is how many carbs I'll eat in a day, and these people are taking it straight injection style, just just freaking bonging that thing down, just straight into the bloodstream.
Get me a
Cracked out.
nice,
You want more?
With Dr.
nice
Pepper too. It's not only Coke.
styrofoam cup of fountain Coca-Cola here in a minute.
Oh my gosh. Gerson, chime in, man. We didn't get to hear from you yet.
Yeah, man, I'm just hearing you guys. I mean, there is so many like sections that I can go through. I mean, I was listening to you guys and also taking notes. I wrote like 3 pages as I'm just kind of go listening to you guys and also going over extra things that I didn't even pop out like when I was doing this. Um, and it's just, like you're just talking about now, it's not the topic, but it is amazing. And I I genuinely feel and believe, and I have this, I think there's something that's gonna happen and it's coming, and that's when I'm gonna be like, when Javier was just saying right in the beginning, I was about to write, is there a pill for that? Because Dr. Jeff was talking about you want the pill or you don't want this, and then you're like, how do you do that? All these people coming to you every day. I was like, oh, maybe there's a pill for that. No, I would love to have that, but there isn't. So, um, I think that's coming actually with practice, which I didn't do much. I just pretty much sponge every information that I could this whole year. And um stop. And then what I'm learning now it's that I learn, I learn, and then there's always more to learn. So it's like, you always got to learn. And the importance of what we learn, you have to stay there. Almost not as not being defensive, but it can't just be like, oh, I know that. No, that has to be like our armor. Yeah, our armor has to be there. Um, I was this close to like I got triggered yesterday, and I was very close to just undoing the boundary that it took me so long to build. But and I was thankful that I was in a Bible study on the with D-Day. So I mean, I wrote, I did this, I went and I'm just listening to this guy's like, maybe I'll wait, maybe I'll wait, maybe I'll wait, and then I was gonna send this whole text defending myself about things that wasn't true. Going over. Oh, I'm like, really? Did I just do all that shit? And I just didn't send anything back. This morning, there was 3 lines that I had to send. Oh, so the insurance, it's like this. Um, the school, he told me like, I mean, some name calling and stuff like that. He told me about this one, not about those. Let's talk about it. And you let me know if you want to do like last year tax because because of the business I extended. If you want me to do it with you, or if you want to do it, that's it. But there was like maybe 3 or 4 messages like this big, and because my guard kind of opened up, also plus I'm back in my so my grandma's gone, and she kind of opened that portal back up a little bit, and she used it very malicious. And I explained it to her, and I begged her to like, be careful. This is gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I mean, she was bringing groceries. She was doing all that, and then she tries like, oh, okay, so you know, go talk to my grandma. I never asked you, and I appreciate it, but I didn't even get to that. But what I meant is, I was about to do something really dumb yesterday, and I was surprised like how fast I just forgot. But thankfully, I was in the call with guys, and that kind of hold me back. I was like, you know what? We're going through the study. I'm not gonna break the study to bring this around. Maybe in the end, and I had the anger. I was going through it. Was going through it. Towards the end, all I felt, and I still do, and actually today we talk like like everything, nothing happened last night, right? Because I responded to her in the morning, and just because also something else happened, but very good thing. Um, and then it was just it could have gone so badly this whole week, this whole day, and I just felt sad, and I just in the end I asked the guys, can we please just pray for this person because I don't hate her. I do not want to be with her. I bargained, on things that I should have done. But, the training that most recently, it's like, what do you value most? The solution or the problems? And it's always the problems, the chaos. There's never everything that I fix, that I help her, which is a fucking boulder. But it's a boulder that be fucking, if I let it go, my son's right under. So maybe I don't, and I'll been, with boundaries it got better, but it's just one of the stones maybe right now that I carry. He was a boulder. He almost turned into one last night, but it is the one that I carry. But there is a purpose because of my son and work. Hopefully we get better. But today, that happened, and then I know, and then I go into shame and anger and this and that. I ask for prayers, like she has to be my ally someday. I believe that can happen, and I do this. I try to well, we don't like the word control, but more and more I try to self-control myself. So to the point that one day maybe I won't have this control problem anymore. And but me being the way I always been with my son, today all he wanted to do after he left school was to call me because he for the first time he got a 100 and he wanted to tell me. So she had to call me, you know. I told him, and then I said, I'm very proud of you. You see, like, he's been working, because he was a little bad. He didn't like, but now he's working on himself. And so I see hard work pays off. I mean, he helped me in the warehouse. I gave him a little paycheck, for the work he did. He was so proud. He had like teared up a little bit too at the time. And and I was like, I'm proud of you, but uh before anything, you are you proud of yourself right now? It's like, yeah. I was like, no, say it out loud. I am proud of myself. It's like, I am proud. It's like, are you proud? Yeah, I am proud, Dad. I was like, all right, that's what matters. And then when I just broke down again when Zach, you know, like that's something I want my son to be. Go be an ordinary. No, that's not me. I have my plan. That's not who I am. I'm gonna follow it. I don't care if my family's doing this. I don't care if my friends are telling me this, because all that did to me is bring me to this place where I don't like to be today. Uh, and it's not easy to get out, but I am working on it, and I want to get out.
Who do you
I
ask to
have,
help you carry
I
your
have
boulder?
responsibilities, and I gotta take care of them before anything. But I definitely know what I want now. Well, actually, I don't, but this is not what I want.
Carson, who do you ask to help carry your boulder?
Just God, and been learning with the support, this year. But there was never no one. Um, my dad is like a friend. He brings sometimes his stones to me as well. He has a great life. He lives his life, and he thinks I have it figured out. Um, until maybe this year when I hit rock bottom a little bit, but I picked myself so fast, like as far as throwing, which it's not really what's going on, but what was going on. That oh, Gerson's always fine. I'm always fine. you know. And that's what I heard. Like I literally, the one of the things I put here. I feel like I wrote it down. I feel like my mask, it was put it down, it was put it on my face, like together with my diapers. Because ever since I know life, I had to be defensive. I had to be protective. I had to be worrying about things. I have, it was my sister's cousin, and then grandma, and then, you know, just deep down, it's like I have to be able to be reliable. And that's a fucking boulder, I think.
Hold
That
your guy, just being a man. Shut your
yeah,
shut your mouth, put your head down, get back to work, and swallow all the pain and anxiety.
yeah. So yeah, I feel like yeah, the anxiety, it comes from kid, and I never treated it to like uh to probably just a little bit after I separated. And it wasn't really about the separation, it was about the business. Um, you know, to me, it was overwhelming in the beginning. It was a big difference, income, and it kind of overwhelmed. And then plus, I, I was actually in a good place, to be honest. It was an anxiety coming from the business, but like I was looking out for my son. I was hitting the gym. I was somewhere in there. It got messed up. I did a few dating. Well, yeah, I know where it got messed up. My girlfriend, and then my ex-wife, or his mom, just became this evil thing and made my life, her ex's life, her mother's life, my mother's life, everyone's life miserable for a long time. I grieved and I forgave myself for the things I also did because before that I never did anything bad towards her. And then I became something that I didn't like. And I grieved that. I understand my errors, but like now I genuinely just want her to one day be able to be my ally. And she is, but she's just sick and she won't look for a doctor. She talked to me till like nothing happened. And that's my whole marriage for years, you know? It was like I would like literally after my, you know, my kid was born because before I would just like take it or, I would just like close the door, I would just leave. But like when my son, especially when he was talking, he's listening. I mean, I would just like, all right, but let's go in this room. Let's go in the bathroom. Let's go take a quick shower. And I would just let her have her thing. And I really, I mean, I can, I'm not a doctor. I mean, I can label things that I think she has, but like, that's not to me. And she takes 10 milligrams of Lexapro, but she needs a lot of therapy. She doesn't do therapy. She doesn't do anything like that. I wish she did. I didn't have any problems before. I never went to a psychologist. I mean, look at me now. I mean, if I don't, I feel like I gotta, even if I don't have to vent or even talk, because this is more, more in close, but like just hearing guys going through and, it helps me, you know. Well, that's like a lot of the things I heard. I left. I mean, I wrote it down. Um, there was a boulder I think that I carried from kid. Like my dad, my dad, he's a big shot in his state, right? He's a state attorney of his state, and now he's gonna retire in a couple of years. And these last 5 years he's been studying. Now he graduated. He's a psychologist as well, so he wants to retire and keep and do practice. So he's smart. He did his thing, but over there coming from vacation, being loved, calling, being a loving parent. I mean, I can say I love you to my dad. It doesn't feel weird. I can't say it to my mother because it feels weird. And not just me, it's me and my two sisters. It was just, the way it was, the environment. But like he did his thing. And I'm really okay with him, but I don't see him as a dad. I just see him as a guy that, all right, maybe this is really personal. I'm gonna bring it to him. I say it is like he'll say, okay, he's very religious, Catholic, like very big time. So um that's his thing right now. And well, he's got the two kids, just divorced. Now he's in love again. Very nice guy behavior there. uh it's like sometimes me and my sisters we just kind of joke about it. But sometimes we got to take some insulin, when we look at his Instagram because he's so sweet. But like if I have something going on, but like I respect him as my dad. There's just like not the respect that honestly he didn't I don't have for anybody because I didn't have I had my grandpa, which you guys know some of it. I mean, Harvey knows a bit. I had my uncle, and I think that's a stone or maybe a boulder that I carry, which is my uncle ruined the family business. My grandpa built it. He, both of them actually. He died. My grandma had no idea what happened, so the whole family collapsed. She picked everything back up. She was like 75. All right, I'm gonna retire. You take care of it. My uncle 2 years, he ruined the whole thing. So I have that in my head, like I, I can't do that. That can happen to me. And when I see that getting close, when there's hard times, I immediately go, oh shit, I'm gonna be just another one. That's one of the things I feel sometimes, but I'm aware of it now. And if it happens, it's because it has to. So
It's
um,
interesting. I think we want to lean on family because that's who we grew up with. And that's that first inclination to go, I need somebody to help me carry this boulder. And I was thinking about, I wrote this down on one of my pages, but I just remembered some of you guys talking about when you go to family, they're the first ones to tear you down when you're struggling.
yeah,
So it's kind of the people that you think that you could probably go to unload some of the weight are
I couldn't load with my sisters, but I have to be the one that's gotta be reliable, and which I had to this year again for not that I had to, I just put myself there, and it hurt me badly. Uh, I was coming out of the panic disorder thing that that I had. I just like to say that I was I diagnosed myself with that shit. And people were telling me that's what I had, and then I had to take all these meds, and then once I was into them, I couldn't get out. I just kept getting worse. I was getting better, and then my sister, which she has, same kind of, issues as all of us have. She really opened up. Like we thought she had a beautiful life, and she had a horrible life with her husband. And she opened up to me. The one day she said things that I could never imagine. And I remember to this day, like the anxiety I had, and because also I was abusing the uh, uh, the gas, the laughing, no, not the, yeah, the laughing gas last year. So with that and the anxiety, like my B12 got this, so I had like every time I would get anxious, my legs would get numb. I remember I was walking, I was already like working, getting back to my life, and then as soon as that happened, it was so many things. Immediately the next day I couldn't walk, and then I stood a while on that because I figured it out everything for her. I got her like in 2 days. I got her a place, I got her a car, I got her a thing. I said, she's like, I don't want to stay there. I was like, well, I can make a call when I take him out of there right now. They live in Jersey. And she's like, no, 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 please. You know, Unhealthy Gerson, call the old buddies. No, I don't want that. I was like, all right, so let's do this. And then a week later, she goes, oh, we're gonna try to work this out. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna block you, Shorty. It's my mom. All you guys have done this whole time, ever since I stepped into this country, that when I first came, I didn't want to come because I had my girlfriend. I was smoking my pot. I had my little minimum wage job. I was fine with it. I was happy. And all you guys do is like bring shit to me, and then I have to figure it out. Like I, I said I had it, but at the same time, I did it because I didn't really have to, but I always did it. So I blocked him for 4 months. And I said, I love you guys, but you guys are making me sick. And then I unblocked my mom, before, and I told her, like, listen, it really hurts me right now because I've never been like this, and I just feel I had to do this. She's like, I understand. Don't worry about it. If you need anything, just let me know. I was like, okay. And then my sister was the last one, but I didn't even know. Turns out she never went back, but they didn't really tell told me. So yeah, everything worked out, and I guess I just needed to be there for her that one day that she called me. And that's all I had to do, listen to her. And I didn't say, leave him, do this. I was like, look, from what you telling me, um, you know, I went through pretty much the same thing. And in my case, it never changed. Um, I can't tell because you guys are married in church. I wasn't even married in church. I was just married. I'm not gonna say leave him because she said he never touched me like as far as hitting her. Um, but I think you know what you want to do. That's why you called me because you wouldn't call me and say all this. No one has no idea about the things you're telling me. No one in the family would ever imagine. And then she's like, she was terrible. She was gone. And then it's like I always had to be there for all of them. And the only one that figured this shit out, it was my younger sister. She lives her life and she don't give a fuck. But she don't want to know about anything about no drama, about anything. And that's who I like go towards more if I have to like really just and she'll listen, she's like, well, I thought that's why I don't linger. That's why I don't do that. That's why I live my life. And but you know, she don't want to have
Carson,
kids. She don't want to have
do
a
you feel
kid.
that,
She don't want to get married. She don't want a dog. She don't want anything. She's a research nurse on oncology thing. She just worries about her career and that's it.
do you think all these boulders or boulders, all these stones that you're carrying, are you, it sounds like it's still like wide open for you. Are you trying to, each person that's a stone, are you setting boundaries for them yet? Or you're just,
Yeah. I'm telling you guys like a lot that how it used to be. It has like everyone is doing their thing now. My sisters are doing their thing. Like she's living with my mom. I don't
everybody
have
was,
the
everybody was
guy.
having their way
It's
with
been like,
you.
go ahead. Sorry.
It sounds like everybody was just kind of having their way with you just because you were in that
Yeah.
boulder carrying mode that
Yeah.
just
And
allowed in your
I
way.
I wouldn't do that blocking thing if I really wasn't sick because I wasn't even like having this strength, but I was like really sick. And then I said, I got a son to take care. And like this is fucking me up. I don't know if you're even because we were talking about before, like you're just saying, Harvey, sometimes these guys come and then like I think they're gonna be like that. You might not remember, but like one day after, I'm doing the crowning shoots and I'm like, listen, man, like, this is my situation. And guys talk a lot about relationship. Like, am I in the right place? Like, just because I really wasn't feeling it, I was like, I'm about to like get the fuck out of here. Like I just feels bad because, I just came out of it and these guys are talking about, fixing their relationship. And I'm like, that's not happening for me. And, it was like punching me in the face. It's like, nah, man, stick around, stick around. And I'm really glad I fucking did it, man. I'm really glad.
I'm glad too, man. Yeah, I remember it. I remember the first time I met you. I remember the first call we were on. It was Rick and I were doing like this group Q&A. And you popped on and you had your glasses on and like you were in a totally different space and you were just like all over the place and like talking and talking and talking and machine gunning and like nothing was making sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
I have,
it,
yeah, I
it was
have that link. I have
total
that.
chaos, man. It was total chaos.
Then
And
there was
now,
a few like that too. It wasn't.
yeah, oh no, it was like that in the beginning for a while, but
Yeah,
you figured out like you know, you're a pretty high strung, high energy guy, but like this is the chill version of Gerson, everybody. Like
yeah, yeah.
this is it
Still a little
right here.
fast, but dude, you
Honestly, like it's radically different.
yeah.
Radically different.
0 to 100 real quick, right?
Mhm. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's quite a journey you've been on. So it's
Yeah.
been really cool to watch and be a part of it and cheer you on as you make these changes. And yeah, man, you've made like your life is radically different than when you started.
Yeah.
Agreed. Like it's radically different than where it was when you first came in. I mean, your family dynamics are totally different. Like the boundaries with your ex-wife are totally different. Your business partnership is different. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's all different. And some of that stuff is coming to a close right now, and we'll see how all that shakes out. But like all of this has had to happen. You're seeing it and you're dealing with it in a much healthier way. And yeah, it's incredible, man. You're great testimony for what can happen and how much someone can change in such a short period of time. So I'm really proud of you, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I think one of the things that really really knocks the thing is really being okay with, I think, letting you go, letting the things go. Um, as much, the more I do it, the more, I hold into things, I hold into, this house, all this, the business, this, that. The more that I'm being able to be like, yeah, like, if, things go tomorrow, like, I know what I can do. I can do something else. Here's what I if I lose everything, like, let's say, which, guys say it all the time.
It happens. My
I'm gonna
brother
have to
just
wake up and, work again and
yeah,
do that. And then the circumstances, like, let's say last night, like, I'm doing all this, right? With these fucking headaches and that and fine, for who, like, before, right? For myself, of course, but like for the family, I thought I had, and right now for my family, my son too. And then, and this is what I get like all the time. And then, you kind of like, why am I going through all this? You know what I mean? Like, this, it's a three bed and then three bed upstairs, apartment upstairs. I can just, I can just rent all these rooms and not work. It'd be a bum, you know? Like, and again, I understand it's her, it's not me. It's before it was my family, for years.
yeah,
In January, I always had to pay my mother's credit cards because they buy Christmas presents for everybody and they don't
yeah,
have the money. I was like, why do you guys keep buying Christmas things, gifts, if you don't have the money? Like, in a row. And then, now I see, I'm just like, dude, you know, I was
yeah.
just
You're taking
embarrassed.
on, yeah, you're taking on
Yeah.
everything, man. You're
Yeah.
taking on everything. So
So, yeah, it's
it's
good to
good,
laugh.
man. It's good. And that is the reality. Like if we lose, like if everything gets lost in our businesses or our jobs, like it's gonna be okay. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna make it through. A lot of us have like been through stuff like that. And I'm watching my own brother. He just his one of the guys that worked for him committed fraud, and all of a sudden he went from being having a car dealership with $1 million worth of cars on his lot to he's declaring bankruptcy, and he's starting all over. And um it's one of the best things that ever happened to him, honestly.
Rough. Yeah.
Like
That's, yeah.
like it was not cool when he was in it, and there's all kinds of fears and worries about it, but like it's all worked out. and
Yeah, I'm
and
sure. Yeah. I'm sure it's better now. Like, he just let that thing go.
right,
And
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It's like, okay, this is what we have to do. It'll be it'll be okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Tex, I don't know if you're still riding or where you're at, but if you want to chime in on on any of this. Would love to hear from you, man. Looked like you were going on quite a journey, though.
Yeah, he was on a ride.
He
I wish
was riding.
I wish I was riding
Hey,
that.
sorry. My phone wasn't wanting to cooperate coming off mute. Um, no, I'm done with my ride now. Uh, but yeah, for me, it was just a look back at my life, kind of the origins of where I became, um, how I got to that point of saying yes to everyone in spite of how it affected me. And it goes back to my childhood. Um, it goes back to how I felt my parents were proud of me. Um, because and my brother and sister, their big brag about them was that they were straight A students and they were both going to be valedictorians. And I was not. I was a C average student. Um, and no matter how hard I tried, I could not do better at school. But I was involved in everything. I I literally had my hands in a little bit of everything at school. And my mom would brag about that. She was proud that she could say, "Oh, you know who my son is." And she'd say who I was, and say, "Oh yeah, he's involved in this, this, and this." And that was what made me feel like I was doing good, that I was doing the right thing. Was okay, I'm involved in things, and that's making my parents proud.
You're involved in a lot of things.
Yeah,
This is adding up.
yeah. So it's always been like that. But so the question, which of the four scenarios which of the scenarios do you really resonate with? It was the first two for me. Not being able to say no to anyone, but then also not asking for help. I couldn't say yes to the things that I needed to say yes to. Um, and I think that was really that. I don't know. I never really had the opportunities to say yes or ask for help. It doesn't feel like I'd never. I was always in the position of helping others, always in the position of doing things for others. Um, I was always the anchor. Um, I came home from college Christmas break, and while I was home, my aunt passed away, and everyone, my parents, my siblings, my aunts, uncles, cousins, they were all a mess, and nobody was really getting anything done. There was talk of, oh, let's go get food or let's order food, but nobody was doing it. It's like, oh, all right, I step up, I do it. And I stepped into everything for like I was taking care of everyone, making sure everyone was okay and that everyone was getting food and that everything that needed to be done was getting done. So much so that I was late to her funeral. Um, and that's just how it's always been. I've always been the one to jump right in, even if it's not something that I want to do or have time to do. If I'm asked to do it, I do it. Um, that's just how it's always been. And I've gotten better. I still struggle if I have the ability to. And if I have the ability to help someone, I feel like I have to. Um, and it didn't really hit me that it was odd that I do that till just recently. Because when I help people, I do it without expecting anything in return. I'm not doing it to get something or because I've got an ulterior motive or anything like that. It's you need help. I have the ability to help, therefore I will help. And I recently joined a online motorcycle group, and one of the other members, she's brand new to riding, and she needs some help with a few things. Like, I can help. Nothing, no ulterior motives whatsoever. And she's I forget how she put it. See if I can find the conversation real quick. Um, um, she said, "I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but you're weirdly positive and helpful." And that launched me into a conversation with her about, yeah, helping people. If I can, I do, because why not? And it made me realize that that's not normal, I guess, or it's not what a lot of people do, or a lot of people they help because they can get something out of it. And I need to figure out why I can't say no to helping. Like I know why I help, but it's harmful sometimes to me
Yeah.
because I've got a lot going on and I am tired
Yeah.
and I need a vacation from life at the moment. But
If anyone deserves a break, it's you, man.
I don't know why I can't say no.
Yeah. What do you think? Is it tied to, you think it's tied more to what the other person will think of you or what you will think of you?
I think it kind of has something to do with, well, if I say no, then they're not going to feel like they can depend on me again in the future. Even if I've said yes, 100 times before, and this is the only time I say no, I feel like, oh, they're going to feel like they can't call on me now. And I don't want them to feel like they can't depend on me.
So this idea that they need to believe they can depend on you is very important.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
I think everyone here has been like this is everyone here has said this honestly in different ways tonight.
That's what that's up.
Everyone before myself, Tony said earlier, I put everyone before myself. and I want to
Hmm.
feel wanted, trusted, and needed by others.
Hmm.
Right. And then Dr. Jeff kind of dittoed that. Um, yeah, where like what is our belief around that? Like what do we think it means about us if they can't depend on us? Right? Like, all right, if I say no and they feel like they can't depend on me, what does that mean about me?
Honestly, for me, I for me it comes down to if I have nothing to offer, are they going to want to hang around me?
Hmm.
Because it comes back to my abandonment issues.
Yeah.
When I had nothing to offer, when I was at my lowest and I needed help, there was no one there for me. And I think I've got it in my head that if I can't offer anything, then nobody's going to want to be there for me or no one's going to want to be around me. And I'm only as good as what I can offer because I've seen that. I've seen that in my life. And so I have to say yes. I have to be involved in things. I have to make sure that people know that they can call on me, even when it is draining me. Because if I stop, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose them and I'm going to have nobody again. Even though I
Have
know
we
that's not the truth, I know that's not what I have found good people now. And I know that's not what's going to happen. But
have we seen
because
that in our lives, or have we just
Yes.
gotten people so used to our help that now they expect
I've
it?
No, you definitely experienced that.
yeah, I've seen that in my life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a core like a core memory of that, when you were at the bottom there. I can see how you connect those dots when you're in that experience that you had. So
Yeah.
now you have found good people that don't require, right? Like we don't require your constant service, and like when you say no or um let us know you can't be there, it's like it doesn't change anything on our end, right?
Hmm. I had an experience earlier this year, or maybe it was late last year. I can't remember. I was cleaning out the trunk of my car. I don't know if I told you this, Harvey, or not, but I was cleaning out the trunk of my car and my sleeping bag was in there. I'm like, oh, why is this in here? Why don't I take this out? And immediately the answer that came to my mind was, oh, in case you have to sleep in your car again. And that hit me hard. I told some of my close friends and said, if you are ever in a position where you have to sleep in your car again, you have a bed. Like I have multiple people that have told me that. Yet where is the sleeping bag to this day still? Even though it needs to be washed because it smells like gas because one of my gas cans spilled on it. It's still in my trunk of my car in case I ever need it.
case you need to sleep in the gas can, smelling sleeping bag.
Because I think I'm afraid if I take it out of my trunk, then I'm gonna not put it back, and then I'm gonna need it, and it
Maybe
won't be there.
you're afraid to let go of that belief that you do still need it,
Yeah.
right? Because those things that we're holding on to, they're like those were like foundational beliefs for us in our worldview at one point, right? And that version of you, it needed that, right? Like the version of us, these childhood versions. I know we go back and it's like, man, now I got to rewire all of this stuff, but we also have to thank that, like we got to thank that version of us. Like they were there for a reason. We created
Mhm.
that version of us for a reason because it was exactly what we needed in that time to like make it through that period of our life. And you had to go into that mode and hold on to that belief in that like moment of your life to survive that experience. So I think you can, what I've been noticing lately for myself when I uncover these things, um, I don't like I used to kind of feel a like a hatred towards these past versions of myself, right? I would call them like a weaker version or a lesser version of myself in a way. But
Mhm.
I'm starting to realize it's like, no, I'm so thankful that you existed, like that this version of me existed in that time because I needed that angry, like spiteful version of me. I needed that overly compassionate and nice guy version of me. Like I needed those versions in that season to
Mhm.
get me through that. So it's almost like an honoring of it, and then a letting them know, like, I just like I've had conversations in my head where I thank that version of myself. I honor them, and then I let them know that they can let go of this stuff because we're okay now.
Yeah. No,
I
I've done that in the past.
I think
I
getting this
I mean,
sleeping bag
yeah.
out of the trunk is like a ceremony in its own way.
Yeah. Uh,
What do you think? Can you go get it now?
can I? Yeah.
Why don't we do it? We're all here. You know you want to do it. You know you need to do it. Go get that thing out of there and just put it in your washing machine.
Hmm.
Come
I'm
on,
having a
man.
panic attack of you saying that.
You you got us here with you, man. What better time? What better time than now?
Andrew, I'll have a panic attack with you while you're doing it. That makes me anxious just hearing you say that, though. But I'm like, do it. That's awesome.
Would
That
you?
was
Now,
like,
now the trick is don't put it in your washing machine, wash it, and put it back in your car.
No, we
Right.
can. It's okay. I mean, you do whatever you want with it after this, but like, let's just get that thing out of there. Because is this a thing? Because I have stuff like this too, where it's like it's this thing that it sits in the back of my mind, and from time to time, it's just like, yeah, I really need to do that. Is this one of those things?
Yeah.
Let's kill that thing, man. It's clouding up your brain space. It's clouding up like this is a weight.
Take a look at the moon too. It's supposed to be bright right now.
Oh, the moon's beautiful. Moon is absolutely beautiful.
Let that bag breathe.
So what do you say? Are you in to kill the sleeping bag demon?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice text.
We can have a moment of silence for the sleeping bag.
I even going outside with you.
Chris is even getting out there. He wants to see the moon.
I would love to say I'm going outside, but I'm at a register.
Yeah, you're
I
not
just
going
locked my
anywhere,
keys in
man.
my trunk.
Wow. The dog has to do his duties too. So
All right, sleeping bag is out of my trunk.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Well, I think I just locked my keys in my trunk. So
Perfect. You'll never forget this moment.
Good thing you got the sleep
Oh,
out.
I do it all the time.
You have a
oh, great.
you got a spare set by chance?
Yeah, but I'm locked out of my apartment.
This
Oh yeah,
could
that's it. That's what I do actually. I stay outside of my house.
Oh, great.
it's a good thing you have a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude.
Oh man.
Nice job, JR.
Hey, listen. I never said this was going to be easy.
Oh.
It's clinging on to dear life, is what it's doing.
Yeah, you got so many attacks coming against you right now.
All the more
Oh,
reason
see
to beat
here.
the struggle.
Well, I might be able to push the. I could do this.
You got this.
Yeah,
I
you
stuck it.
can.
I got it. I got it. I got
There
it.
you go.
Here we go.
Oh, hey, not for nothing, boys, but that Coke is delicious.
Got it. All
What
right.
did
So
what did you
I
get?
stuck the keys. All right. Let me see if I can show you. How to turn the camera around. Can I turn the camera around?
You definitely can. I don't know how you do it, but there's a
Oh,
button somewhere.
so I set the keys down right here in the there. So I
Oh,
closed it down. So I was able to wedge my knife in and push the trunk open button.
Tex is a guy who always has a knife on him.
Yes. Two knives at the moment.
Or a sword or a rifle.
Some sort of weapon that can kill and mangle.
You gotta
Oh.
have it nearby.
I've got but along with those, I always have a first aid kit as well. I've got a tourniquet and basic first aid and chest gauze, all that stuff.
I know
So
you're always packing.
I'm prepared for all occasions.
He's even got a sleeping bag on him right now.
So we're
I
going to
do.
Texas house whenever the apocalypse hits, right?
Something like that. Except I
Yeah.
won't be there.
That's okay. We'll get a hold of you and you can tell us where to go.
Yeah,
I'm,
we all need
I'm
someone
heading to
like
work.
that in our life.
I'm heading to West Virginia if the apocalypse hits.
West Virginia is the way to go.
Are you
For
going
me,
with your
anyways.
mountain mama?
No, I got a place to go down there that's completely off grid, but it's got water, natural gas, and a generator and all that. So
Mm. All right. Well, you don't need to tell us
Already
about
all
it.
set.
We get it. We get it, man. We get it. There's only room for one.
West Virginia. Mhm.
oh, All right, it's out of my car.
Feel good?
I don't know. It's weird knowing it's not in there.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what if I need it? But proud of you, Tex. Yeah.
What
Good
if I
stuff,
need it?
man.
What if you got friends now that tell you you don't need
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
What if you actually have real friends in your life now?
Yeah,
What?
but then there's a part of me that doesn't want to inconvenience anyone else.
Ah, that's not fair.
I know.
You like helping people, right?
Oh yeah. No, don't trust me. I know. There are other people
Yeah.
that enjoy helping people.
Yeah,
So
stop
by
hogging
not
it.
letting them help, I know all the things.
You're
Trust me,
hogging
I
it
know all
all.
the things.
You're like, nope, you can't help me. Only I'm the only one that gets to feel this good.
Yeah.
You know it, man. You know all the things. We just gotta sometimes we gotta force ourselves to take the action we're supposed to. And it's a lot easier when it's a lot easier when we're together on it.
Yeah.
Who knows how long that sleeping bag would have stayed in there and you just kept seeing it and thinking about it.
Yeah.
You
I
just had
do a
to
lot of
sleep on it, but you
things.
didn't die though.
It's also kind of primed and ready to go to be set on fire if you really wanted to. Like that would be pretty.
I had
I don't
that
have
thought, but I
anywhere to
was
do
like,
that.
no, maybe I just keep it to myself.
No, I'm gonna need it for
Purification by
next.
fire.
I'm planning a cross country motorcycle ride, so I'm gonna need it next year. But
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a good sleeping bag, you should hold on to it.
oh yeah, I mean I've had that thing since I was in elementary, high school, and it's still good. I
Maybe it
probably
is
could get a
time
new
for a
one.
new one.
It might be. I don't know. I've been through a lot with that one though.
Does it got Scooby Doo on it?
No, it's just a basic uh, mummy style sleeping bag.
Well, at least you can
Uh,
get a good washing. You can put it away, not in your car.
yeah, I'll put it with my camping stuff.
Perfect place for that.
But yeah, uh,
Put a knife in there just in case, you know. The two. So
yeah. Oh, that's just you assuming that I don't already have a knife or two in there.
How many knives do you think you actually have?
Oh goodness.
Just
Man,
ballpark.
I'm not as bad as some people.
You're
Um,
you're making justifications already. You haven't even thrown a number out there. You're already preparing.
let's see. It's somewhere between 75 and 100.
God, what? What?
Most of them are just little pocket knives that I've picked up here and there. There are a few. There are about 6 months
I'm
there that I
trying
was
to
part
think
of.
of anything that I have 75 or 100 of. I'm trying to think of anything at all in my whole possessions of everything. Maybe, maybe books. I got nothing else. That's it. That's it.
It's mainly been a process of trying to find the right one, I guess.
I guess it's
Because
not easy.
every knife is for a different purpose. Every knife has like and they're only in within arm's reach because I needed them for a project, so they're still sitting on my desk. But I've got a little pocket knife that holds the utility blade because utility blades are useful for different things. I've got a stiletto because it's pointy. Like I've got every single knife I have has a different purpose, or I got it because I thought it would fulfill a purpose, and then it didn't, and so I replaced it. Or, but
Mm.
right now I've been the pocket knife I've got right now. I'm going on 4 or 5 months carrying it, and it's doing good. I don't see any reason to replace it. So yeah,
So it's like the land of misfit toys in your house. It's just knives.
yeah. I mean, they're all unless they've been used recently, they're all sitting in I've got a lockbox that they all sit in.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, and then a lot of them are they're I probably have about 20 kitchen knives.
Oh, okay. That's different. I wasn't counting
Yeah,
those. I wasn't counting those.
You got blades
uh,
like what's his name? Caesar hands.
Edward.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start calling you
Edward says,
Edward.
but I mean, I've got what? How many? 6 swords? 6 or 7 swords?
I'm coming
Yeah.
up on I got 3 swords now.
Okay.
I just got to say, I think the best description I've ever heard for a purpose for a knife is because it's pointy.
He
It
did say that.
is.
He said,
I
I
like
got
that.
this one because it's pointy.
I
This
mean,
is
a
my
stiletto.
steady stick.
That's the whole purpose of a stiletto was it was pointy so it could stab easily. That was why the stiletto was created.
So it's not because it's pointy, it's because it's stabby.
It's stabby, yes.
This is my
It
stab.
it
This
can
is my
it can easily
stabbing
fit
knife.
between the ribs.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay. All right. We're getting I need to go to bed at this point. This is my
yeah, we made progress tonight.
good stuff tonight, guys. As always, let's go a little deeper into boundaries again for this next week here. But this one here, yeah, this one I've written a lot of pages on this for myself, so I understand what you guys are diving into. Like it's a deep hole when we start looking at the stones and the boulders and trying to figure out like, all right, well, where do I draw the line between helping people and not helping people and taking care of myself and um this is something that like I feel like makes me a good person. Like it's difficult to wrestle with. So I think for me, it's just continuing to ask the questions. Just continue to ask the questions and look for the answers that are right for you and feel authentic for you and um, lead to the results that you want to have in your life. I think that's the key is like, is me doing this leading to the result that I want to have in my life, to me becoming the person that I want to be and have the life that I want to live. And if it is, great, keep doing that. But if it feels off, like if you're feeling like the piece of this is it's too draining, if something about this just isn't working, then you got to ask the question like, all right, where do I draw some lines? These are the boundaries. And it's not easy. There's not a cookie cutter boundary for everybody. We all got to define this on our own. And I have my way that I've come up with that, seems to be working for me, but all you guys are going to have different versions of this for yourselves. So let's figure it out together. We're here to help you work through it and give the perspectives on the things that we've made mistakes in the past and in our own boundaries. So the next, couple weeks here, we're gonna stay on this. We're gonna keep going deeper in this and exploring different versions of this. So Strap in, boys. Strap in. All right, guys. Dang, it's freaking midnight. We really went after it tonight, but this was a good one. Thank you guys for all, like, everybody's still here too. You guys are
Yeah.
warriors. Freaking incredible. Tex will go another couple hours if you let him. He's got more knives to talk about, but I'm cutting
Oh
it
yeah.
off. I'm cutting it off. Let's all get to our jobs on time in the morning, okay?
Oh, I took tomorrow off.
Oh, good for you, man. Good for you.
Tomorrow's my actual birthday, so I took today and
Oh,
and tomorrow off.
oh
So
my
yeah.
gosh. Hold on a second.
Oh, it's
Everybody,
actually right now.
everybody,
I guess technically
everybody,
today's my birthday, isn't it?
everybody
I'm
unmute.
37.
Everybody unmute. It's time to sing. It's time to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday, dear
dear
Andrew.
Andrew. Big Tex. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Happy birthday, man. Welcome to 37. I'm so glad we got to
Oh,
be
let me
the
get some
first
fireworks.
ones to see it. Yeah, send the fireworks.
Hey,
Ain't it's a felony mess.
you said everybody get to work on time in the morning. Was that some kind of joke, sir? I'm
Yeah,
already
so
here.
He's already grinding.
yeah. Well, yeah, dude.
I'm gonna be here all night.
Enjoy it.
Drinking
No.
Coca-Cola.
I am gonna go to bed and enjoy that.
All
And
right,
the whole
guys.
time I'll be thinking about Tony and how he needs to put more applications out.
Where's Tony? Tony, where do you live?
I'm in Northwest Arkansas.
Ah, okay. I've got a I've got a position open right now. I'm trying to hire for, but oh well.
I would love to take it, but you're a little far. My
Yeah,
family might miss me some.
yeah,
You can bring your kids to Ohio. It's fun out
yeah.
here.
You come move up here with the rest of us. We're fun up here.
I'm, we never looked into Ohio. We only looked into Oregon.
Begins
Is
with
it?
a no.
Yeah, it's almost the same.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
they're
beach
they're
and
they're a
palm
little
trees and
more
everything.
tree huggy out there.
Yeah,
It is equally as rainy and cloudy here though, so it's perfect.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
I'm
See you
done.
later.
See you
have a good night,
guys.
boys.
Love you all.
All
Night.
right.
See ya.
Have a good